Hey y'all. Whew. I am probably forgetting something because I feel like I've just been rushing around for like the last 30, 45 minutes. You know what, Terry? I read that book last night. We're talking about Pen Pal by J.T. Geisinger. It was so not what I expected it to be. I loved it. It had me in tears. I was so emotional when I finished it. Um, Nothing is what it seems. That's really all I'm gonna tell you about it because I feel like it was so much better not having a clue other than what the blurb said. And the like I said in a post about it earlier, the blurb didn't even like skim the top of the story. I loved it. So I got two going like I told you I was gonna do. So should I say something untoward and get shut off over here on TikTok? I got my Instagram up and going. Um, so we'll just keep fingers crossed that I don't get kicked off of both of them. Well, I hope you read it. I would love to hear what you have to say about it. Because whew, yeah, you got to read it. You got to read it. So I was very thankful that um she put a pronunciation guide in here. Although on some it didn't help me at all because when I came across them in the story, my mind just did whatever it was going to do, and that's just how the word was from that point on. I think probably the biggest one I had problems was the name of the city. CR Gao. I it doesn't sound natural to me because I guess because I'm having to slow it down and pronounce each syllable. I never could get it. Just hitting all the buttons. So the first thing I noticed that had me very concerned was something that was mentioned in chapter 1. You know, we get through the prologue and I think that's where Noir yeah, the prologue's word shit. Noir basically rejects, that's the word I'm looking for, rejects Rama. And thinking about that, it was almost like, even though her father was saying he was trying to save her life, I'm wondering if maybe that wasn't more because he was scared of her. But he didn't want to to say those words out loud with her standing right there with him. Yeah, I appreciated the nicknames whenever she shortened them down into the story. It was, like I said, I had a hard time with the city names, or even I think it was one of the names of their gods or something like that. Yeah, it was a little difficult for me. But see, I had tagged the pronunciation page, and I tagged in the short history lesson about how the alphas came to be. And I thought that was kind of cool to have that like right at the beginning of the book, instead of having to wait till somebody told a story on down in there for you to figure out how all this came about. So the first thing that concerned me and let you know that there was going to be some even deeper seated hatred. Yeah, I'm gonna say that when I first read the blurb on this, when I was considering it as an option for book club, I did not realize it was going to be Omegaverse. Now I'm a fan of Omegaverse, so that didn't really bother me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that, just speaking on my part. It I had to take a break in the beginning. I don't remember exactly how far I'd gotten in, but I was like, you know what, I need to take a break for a night maybe. And that gave me time to kind of like, wrap my head around what I had read so far. And I don't know if it's maybe because I wrapped my head around what I had read so far. And I don't know if it's maybe because I felt a little bit lost in what I had read, and I needed time to kind of process. But then, when I went back to it, if it wasn't for having to get up and go to work and do adult stuff, I probably would have finished it in one sitting after the second time I got into it. So, like I was saying, the first thing I noticed was when they were talking about Oscar so early on in the book. And what caught my attention was the past tense when they were talking about him. And I was like, wait, where's Oscar? Have we lost one already? Oscar. All right, y'all, I'm getting the notifications about it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on. Just hang in there with me, hang in there. So, obviously, I love Noir because, he's just an alpha hole. But even Jet and 10, immediately that there's a lot of trauma for Jet for all the things that he's being subjected to. And even though 10 is the youngest of them, he doesn't really necessarily have anything to compare his life in the maze to. Like, there's nothing he really has outside of that. So I kind of felt bad for him, but he seemed very well adjusted. That. So I kind of felt bad for him, but he seemed very well adjusted. Very well adjusted. Yeah, I agree with that. But I don't know how she thought that was going to work, because well, I guess if she could see mates and he happened to come across his mate if they were together, she could have done away with her. He's an evil bitch. So, and I think that the thing about Oscar, I think what upset me about it the most was that we didn't even get a chance to know him. The only time we met him was in the train, and then he was just gone. So I kind of felt like we were cheated by not getting to meet him and spend some time with him. I would have liked to have known him, because the rest of the guys just seemed so. Um. So, Cashore, I honestly liked him from the first time he was on the page. I felt like from the beginning there was more to him than just being Noir's. I don't know if nemesis is quite the word. Just, I guess, being his. I don't know. Maybe nemesis is the word. I can't think of another word. Rival. Because nemesis seems like way worse than what they were. I don't know. If y'all think of something, let me know. But by the end of the book, he was probably one of my favorite characters in the whole book. The sacrifice he made, even though to him he didn't feel like it was a sacrifice, that was sweet. That got me choked up. He did. Poor Jet. And man's got some stamina. I'll give him that. Maybe it was helped by all the uppers he was taking, but man has some stamina. And I was just like, God, does this something he does all night, every night? And it was like, it was like really a kind of a sick, twisted form of torture. And I guess that's a sick, twisted form of torture. And I guess that's what she was into, Rama. But seeing even from the beginning, whenever Diana's sitting there talking about her tattoo, I had a feeling that thing was going to play a part. And how in the world? And how in the world? I have to wonder, and this is probably overthinking it, how detailed was this tattoo? I have to wonder, and this is probably overthinking it, how detailed was this tattoo? And because the way it sounded in the book was that it just covered like her forearm, maybe. But that's a big maze. Yeah, I don't get how the entire map of the maze, it had to be like an entire arm. But then again, if it was, how could she see all of it? See, I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. Moving on. And y'all, I got to find the name of the little animal that was bringing her the bone pieces. Wait, I'm close. Malin Fox. Whenever she revealed what, for that much of a detailed tattoo, it should have been on her back. This is true. It would seem like, but then it would need to be where she could see it. But I'm confused because you wouldn't be able to get it too small because then that would just make it hard to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm puzzled by the whole. I will say, thankfully though, that apparently she had the entirety of it on her arm, and it wasn't like one of those things where, she had half of it and her brother had the other half, because that would have sucked. Which could still be possible because maybe the portion, if she had half or just a part, she could only really get them out through the portion of the map that she had. Which I guess would explain why it was only ever, because they never really talked about her having to twist her arm out of socket to see something. It was always like right here or right here. It was never, hey, what does that spot look like? I don't know. I am bumfuzzled by that. So, yeah, the Malin Fox. When she revealed that about the bones that the foxes were bringing to her. Is it fox or foxes? Wow. Foxes. It's got to be foxes. I've been out of school for a long time, y'all. That was, I thought, very sweet that she planned this for a long time. She really did. She planned it for a very long time. I guess the entire 7 years that she had been with Rama, she had been planning it for a while. Thank you. It didn't sound right when I said it, and I was just like, is that right? Are we talking about the tattoo? That is a very good question. I don't know if maybe her father must have, I don't know, drilled it in, quizzed her on it, pop test every day. I don't know. I believe that's probably the only way she could have been able to decipher the map, was that he yeah, he had to explain it to him continuously over and over. I mean, obviously she's very, very intelligent, and she's very, very intelligent, and but that don't always mean you got a great memory. So yeah, that's the only thing I figured. Her father must have drilled it into him, and now I'm like, you get us through this whole book, and we find out that Rama's been dangling the possibility of her brother being alive to keep her in check. And now I'm like, well, great. That's another question I need answered. Another question I need answered. What in the world was going on between Jet and Ren's? Ren's? I was like, holy mother of God, that's kind of hot. Gotta look for the dude's name. Let me just go back up here to the pronunciation sheet, because that's the easiest place to find it. Maybe. Rez. No, Reza. I called him Rez the whole time. Yeah, I agree with that. He had to have just constantly quizzed him on it daily, hours for days. Once he got it put on him. And back to the tattoo thing. I was kind of questioning, when did he build the maze? Was it before or after he did the tattoos? How long did it take him to do the maze? Because apparently he was doing this before Rama got NOIRE. Had to be. Because once she got NOIRE, that's where she put him, was in the maze. So it already had to be built. And I believe Diana had said that her father gave them the tattoos when they were 11. Interesting. See, as y'all can tell, there's some of the stuff that I have thought about, but didn't really come to a conclusion, and then I end up just having more questions. I agree with that. I think he didn't really understand what he was feeling. But I loved that. Rez, Rez, Rez was just so patient and understanding. So, and I don't know if y'all know it or not, but Jet's book is next. I don't know when it's coming out. So I don't remember if I read the blurb or not. Either way, I'm excited for Jet's book. Because obviously we're going to get more answers. I got a feeling that Rama's not dead. And I don't know that his relationship with Ray that his relationship with Rez is gonna go beyond anything. I think she just wanted to be somebody's true mate. I think she just wanted to be somebody's true mate. I think she just wanted to be somebody's true mate. Talking about Rama, I don't. But even still, she should have realized that wasn't something she could. Exactly, she was not a damsel in distress. But Rama should realize it's not that that kind of mate. Exactly, she was not a damsel in distress. But Rama should realize it's not that that kind of mate bond. You can't force it. You just can't. I'm like, girl, do you not read books? Because that would have told you, would have cleared it right up. You can't force that kind of bond. And all the sarcasm and stuff she was throwing at Noir, I was just sitting there like, girl, no, you didn't. Stop it. Don't talk to him like that. It tickled me. It really did tickle me. But I kind of feel like, even though Diana is Omega, she's also an alpha female. If you get what I'm saying. But because a lot of these kind of relationships are instinctual, but obviously only one can actually control her. Yes. So moving on. Because, I mean, and I get that. But you know how a lot of times Omegas, to me, sometimes, not in every book I've ever read, but sometimes they can be a little too submissive in comparison with the alpha that they're bonding to. I need my Omegas, my submissive Omegas. I need my Omegas, my submissive Omegas, to have a bit of a backbone. I need them to be not necessarily equal, but I need them to be considered as important. I don't need them to be groveling the entirety of the book. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'll read it, but I don't like it. So even though when they first threw her down there, they sprayed her down with all these pheromones and stuff. I think we've probably all been subjected to people who wear too much perfume. So that's kind of how I felt like, this was affecting him. Although maybe not nauseated, but it was making him, lose his mind. But there was a part of me that wanted to believe even then that he was actually scenting her natural scent. That's what I was hoping. That he could smell that even through all that other crap they had doused her in. So, yeah, it can make them boring, and it makes them repetitive, and yeah, it can make them boring, and it makes them repetitive, and yeah. I think that's why I have to. I can't explain that, and I don't know if reading it in a book is what the turn on in, because I've never experienced that myself. But I don't know. I think it's. Let me see if I can just give you my thoughts on it without getting kicked out. I think it is the feeling of it inside. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me. Oh, when he did that to her, yeah, I didn't see any need in that either. And I guess that's more because I don't think I would want that done to me. I don't think. But I will tell you this, I have learned a lot about myself since joining Book Talk. So, yeah, yeah. It was a bit extreme what they had to do. And I was kind of like, how often do you need those chains that you just keep them on the wall like that? About it. She knew it was coming. Moving on. What is this? I made a note here, and I'm trying to remember what was the focus of this note. The whole rut thing. Because I made a note like, if he's not in the rut, he would want to everything that tries to interrupt. If the vampire try to take her, would they kill him as a group? Is that what Rama wants? I did question if this was actually going to be a why choose, because she called them Diana called them her alphas at one point in the book. And I was like, okay, well, is this she called them Diana called them her alphas at one point in the book. And I was like, okay, well, is it a why choose? By the end of the book, is it going to be just like one big happy family? Is it a why choose? By the end of the book, is it going to be just like one big happy family? Is that what we're looking at? But it didn't go that way. So there was something that I had noticed once they left, and maybe even a little bit before that, but once they left um, Noire's quarters, um, his need to always be touching her in some way. Either, I even wrote some examples. Hand on the small of her back, standing close enough that his chest touches her back, dragging his fingers along her waist. I was just like, oh, okay, okay. I'm good with that. I like that. I thought that was like a nice little detail to their relationship. Keeps on and off, on and off. Then when you realize that the vampires are actually growing in number, and that they and that they quite possibly have a dire situation going on, since one of them is going into labor very soon, according to Cash. And I liked that they were all able to agree. I liked that they were all able to agree to work as a team. What's her name? Askelin. Kind of like her too. She was a bit bitchy, but I still liked her. And it's the few moments when Noir was thinking that there was a possibility that Diana was more to him, I was just like, dude, quit thinking about it. You already know. Why are we debating this? You already know. She's your mate. Come on. And then we had, because Noir starts to notice how Renz is paying such close attention to Jet. And he also notices how much close attention Askelin is paying to copy. It's on page copy. It's on page 141. And I can't remember what all happens in the scene, but Cash tells him, "I think she's your fucking mate, you hideous asshole." That was funny to me. I know. Because, I mean, for a while you kind of felt like she's really doing this. She is really doing this. Girl is smart. She's smart. And it's almost like she was just enough steps ahead of Rama to keep Rama from knowing what she had planned. I honestly think Rama underestimated her, but she probably won't again. I believe that's what that's going to come down to. So, and I will say, I'm not sure which things freaked me out more. If it was the flying, I can't say that name, the things that were able to detach their upper halves from their lower halves. Those freaked me out a little bit. I was prepared for the Nagas. I could handle that. The Minotaur, I could handle. There was something else. I could not get a visual, really, in my head of what these horses were actually supposed to look like. They look like stone, but they move like they're alive. What sorcery is this? My mind couldn't do it. So I was kind of picturing them. Ow. When she's describing them, when they first come across them, I ended up kind of picturing them like, and y'all, I don't know what the name of this place is, but it's that scene where you have all these, God, I don't want to say the wrong word. Never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna wait till I research that a little bit more before I make any further comment on that. I pictured them like in rows of carved stone. Obviously covered in these roses because these roses were apparently everywhere. Yeah, yeah. I didn't think about trying to think about them that way. Huh, huh. Yeah, should have thought about that. Duh. So, that's a pink flag. That means there was something spicy happening there. Oh, that's when they were in the pool. And he's got her dangling over the edge of the... Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was intense, too. And I don't even think she got to... I don't think she even got to finish. Because that's when the helicopter came in with the Minotaur. Maybe she did. I don't remember. And this... Okay, that's when he reveals to her that... I guess they kind of revealed to each other. Yes. That's when they reveal to each other. You know, she tells him that she's known since the first time she saw him that he was her mate. And... Yeah, I don't think she did. And then he makes that comment, that doesn't mean I didn't recognize what you are to me. But I think he's saying that more as like whenever he first saw her here in the maze, he recognized her as his mate. Took a little while to get past all the, the spritzer they doused her in. But she knew it as his mate. Took a little while to get past all the, the spritzer they doused her in. But she knew it way back. I think she said she was 5, 6, 7. She was very young, which is probably why he didn't recognize her at that time. Because she, obviously she wasn't matured, so why would he have? And since there are cameras all over this freaking place, obviously, which I guess she already knew, but it's like, now, I don't know if it's now that Noir has admitted it, recognized it, let it be known. I kind of felt like that put an even bigger target on Diana's back. So I was concerned. And of course, this was all before we all realized that there was something a little shady going on. About how Rama's going to come on. About how Rama's going to come directly for Diana. And then I was, in my note, Noir is about to bring the pain. In my note, Noir is about to bring the pain. Oh my God, y'all. And then when she shifted. What? I was like, yep. Yep, that's my girl. That's my girl. I was shocked. But I was so excited. Yeah, when he gave her the rose. The flower, the rose, yeah. But yeah, y'all, when she shifted, because that's not normally something an Omega would do. I thought that was pretty awesome. Which is when Noir said that there's, he says, not Very few Omegas can do it. I've only ever met one who was his mother. But yeah, that got me all worked up. I was like, go girl, go girl. Flipping pages, flipping pages. Going to my next little note. Oh yeah, this is the uh when the what do they call them? Monongles. Long, leathery, splotched limbs hang from thin, emaciated bodies. Their faces have two small eyes and a huge mouth full of translucent dark teeth. Yes, that's them. Those things freak me out. I don't. Why would you do that? Why would we do that? Are those things like a real legend, myth, folklore, something like that somewhere? Minotaurs and the Warsocks and the Nagas, but I'm not sure that I've ever heard of those things. I need to need to up my game on my monster folklore and stuff, I guess. And I was hoping in a way that he'd hurry up and I was hoping in a way that he'd hurry up and, go ahead and claim her so we could see. Yeah, I've never heard of those. But because, the whole thing about how they were supposed to enhance each other's abilities. So I was kind of hoping he would do that for the sake of having that extra oomph trying to get out of this maze. But he didn't, which in, I guess, in another way, that's kind of like, okay, he does care. He wants to be able to enjoy the moment, do it correctly, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yeah, and he's talking about burning down the world for her. We love that. Hey, so off topic, is anybody else going to watch House of Dragons? Ooh, spicy time. Ooh, spicy time. I wonder if that's something she made up then. So this. So this. Oh yeah, this page is marked because that's the roses. That's the scene with the roses. The Wendigos. I have heard of Wendigos. That was another creature that was in here. He got upset a little bit, and we all had a moment of doubt. But then, thankfully, so there again, I'm like, okay, that's a plot point for Jet's book. Will we get 10 back in that book, or will that roll over into his own book? So, something to look forward to, maybe. Chosen. I can't remember how. I did too. Even this whole time, I had forgotten that she was a wolf. And then, when Noir made that comment, that's when I realized that Rama had shifted too. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I had a feeling. I kind of felt maybe more like it would be Jet. And yeah, I knew it was going to be one of those three. Yeah, I knew it was going to be one of those three. It'd be a little too obvious if it was Noir. But I did have a stronger feeling that it was going to be Jet that she was able to get. So, but no, it turned out to be Tenebrous, the little baby. But no, it turned out to be Tenebrous, the little baby. The little baby. And then we get towards the end of the book where there's I have a note here about this whole Chosen thing. Cashor referenced the Chosen earlier. Askelin called her Chosen One. Will Diana lead the Vampiri now? I mean, she kind of does. She kind of does. Through the end of the book, anyway. So then we go through the claiming. Did the K word happen? Did the cannot word happen? I think it did. It had to have. Had to have. Get off my finger. I must do it together. Because Diana Queen. I don't remember that, but it's got to because it's the Omega Birds. It has to happen. I don't remember that, but it's got to because it's the Omega Birds. It has to happen. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm assuming that that's what they meant by calling her the chosen one. That since he was king and he chose to give her his life force, that made her the chosen one. But now it also apparently makes her their queen, because he is still his his life force, his essence is basically in her. And I'd have to reread that part because it kind of like peeks through at times. And then we get the last, not the last chapter, but Jet's chapter in this book. And I hurt for this alpha so bad right now. Yeah, but you got to stop and think. Talking about, didn't he say until the chosen one was ready? She was on the verge of death. So, I mean, she kind of had to have time to heal and get used to having Keshor's life force in her body. So, yeah. Yes, the piercing happened during the whole claiming session. Yeah. You make a good point. I honestly thought he was just doing it because he wanted to. I honestly thought he was just doing it because he wanted to. Because you don't really hear anything else about it. I mean, the part where they go bury Oscar's bones. That was sad. That had me crying again. I was because he matured in the maze. All right. I liked it. I liked it very much. Um, I have read a couple of her other books from that, the Compound, the Brotherhood, Alpha Compound. I've read a couple of those, and I enjoyed those. But it's been a while since I read those. I might have to go back to that. I don't know about this Northern Reject series. I don't know anything about that. I might have to look into that. Alright. So, I see that I had, alright. So, I see that I had, someone jump over here. I see that I had, someone jump over here from the TikTok post. A couple of y'all actually, I think. Honestly, it looks like Instagram kept up better with not the whole freezing up, cutting in and out thing. So we may make this our future gathering spot. We will. I've lost my train of thought, y'all. Okay. Next weekend, I will do the options post. And then I will set the date. Y'all know how that goes. Y'all know how I do that. Of course, if y'all have any options, anything y'all been looking at, considering, and need a motivating factor to read, send it my way. You know, I have been debating back and forth about offering the t-shirt. I got the t-shirt from Custom Ink, and if enough of y'all are interested, I will do one of those uh, post a link where if you want it, you can go to that link and order it. Um, I need to do a little bit more research on that because I, I don't want y'all to to not, not be able to get the shirts because of a a certain quantity not being met, kind of thing. Um, yeah, because I think since I got the single shirt, I think I paid like 28. Yeah, because I think since I got the single shirt, I think I paid like 28 plus shipping and handling for it. And I know that if I can get like a whole order together, like a group that a group that the higher quantity, the smaller the cash amount. Um, if our quantity, the smaller the cash amount. Um, if you're interested, y'all let me know. I will do a little more digging into that and get that info out to y'all. But yes, this is a Bella Canvas t-shirt. I'm wearing a large. I also have it in gray. Obviously, this is on there. Back is blank, nothing on the back. Just a real simple t-shirt. So y'all let me know what y'all want to do, and I'll get info out to you. I forget what I was going to tell y'all. Guess it wasn't important. Anyway, next weekend, be looking for the options post. Oh, now I remember. If you see something that you would like included in the options, let me know. Send it my way. We do need to do something to celebrate, don't we? I made that post and I was just like, God, has it really been that long? Because it doesn't feel that way. But it has, y'all. It's been a year. So I guess we could make this like a celebratory thing. But yeah, I'll do some digging into that and get that info out to y'all. Yeah. So I have once again enjoyed it. I appreciate y'all coming and yeah. So I have once again enjoyed it. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me. And we will do it again.